Hi everyone, and welcome to the Curl Purl Girl Knits podcast, episode 16. I am Catherine, your host. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram under Curl Purl Girl Knits, and you can also go on the Ravelry groups page to find the Curl Purl Girl Knits podcast group. Welcome to everyone. It's been a while. I know I kind of lost a little bit of my knitting mojo in the last few weeks. I worked a lot. I was really tired and I kind of didn't do a lot, sadly. So today we are Saturday, September 16, and I will show you the little bit of progress that I have, but like I say, it is not a lot because I lost my knitting mojo in the last little bit. So hopefully it's going to come back soon and things will happen. So first things first, my breathing space sweater. I finished the body. So let me find, here we go. So I finished the body over here. So last time we talked, it starts to be a lot of yarn, sorry. I was right here. And so I finished all of this and I did the twisted rib. It's a 1x1 twisted rib. I changed the bind off to do a tubular bind off, which I'm actually really happy with the result. I think though that it would have been a little bit prettier because it is a twisted rib stitch. I think it would have looked better if it would have been a normal knit stitch instead of a twisted. So, but it's still fairly pretty. I like it. So that I changed from the pattern because it doesn't call for a tubular bind off. But I've changed that. So if I put this here, so this is the body. And you can see this asymmetrical bit on this corner. So this side of the sweater is longer than this side. And I pick up the sleeve. So I've picked up right here. As you can see, I still left my scrapped piece of yarn and I am just doing the sleeve right now. It's a lot of changing color as you go. So it's taking me a little bit to do, but hopefully it's starting to get cold over here. So hopefully it's going to be done sooner rather than later. But yeah, here we go. So this is the back and this is the front. And I'm knitting this in Hedgehog. I will put the name of the yarn below because I don't have them with me right now. Whoops, this one is getting off. So it is a nice little cream and a rustic pink color. I talked about it on my last episode as well, so if you want to see a little bit more about that, you can also go there. I'm knitting this on a 3.5 millimeter needle, and I transferred to a 9-inch circular for the arms just so that I can go and never stop. So this is for my sweater. I kind of wish that it would have been done by now, but it is not. So it is what it is. The sleeves are definitely kind of taking me down a little bit because of all the striping that there is on it and because how it's so small. I feel like I'm always switching color and not making a lot of progress. So something's gonna happen eventually and I'm gonna be cheered up again and the sweater will be done. So here we go. Project number 1. And then I've started my August socks for the mystery sock along that we're having with the group. And I kind of did a mistake. Whatever I did, I increased numbers of stitches when I was doing my pattern instead of just doing the pattern. And so I had to frog it, and then it was September, so I left those behind. So I frogged it, I recaked it, and I will definitely still make a pair of socks out of it. It just didn't happen for August. And so talking about socks, let's talk about the September socks. So I had in my bag a skein of poppy yarn and fiber, and if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you know how much I love her yarn. And I think that's probably why my partner put this one in the bag, because September is my birthday month. So I think he kind of selected which one he thought I would really like the most and put it in my September bag. So it is the Merry Dancers colorway on the Argento sock base. It is a 2-ply 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% silver stellina. And here is the cake of yarn. It is a really dark color, and I know when I bought it, I know like it's hard to actually showcase the color on camera for it. So I'll try to, eventually when the socks will be a little bit more further along, I'll try to just take like a really beautiful picture of it and put it on the next podcast so that you guys can see. But it is a really nice dark gray with silver stellina in it, and there's just little bits of dark green and dark blues in it. It is just beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. Hope you see a little bit of green over here. The blue is a little bit harder. You have a little bit of blue over here. But it is gorgeous. I am not a sparkly girl, but because this is so dark, the stellina kind of gives it a little something. So I literally just started my sock number 1. I started my backstage knitting again. For those who've been watching for a little bit, you know. But it's such a dark color that it's really hard for me, so I can't really do it. I can only do it as I'm waiting for the show to start. And honestly, I don't have time. Anyway, I'm extremely busy during the show, so I can't. And intermission is extremely busy as well. So it's really just before the show starts. So I've started this. So I have my rounded toe. Let me show the back. And I've just basically took the speckled sock pattern. It's a free pattern. I'll put the name of the designer down here because I don't quite remember her name, but I basically just took the stitch from that pattern and just alternate it throughout the sock because I kind of like it, and I don't want this sock to be too busy because the colors are so beautiful, and I really hope it's going to give me a nice end result. So it's basically going to be an hybrid between the speckled socks and Hermione everyday sock kind of look. So I really hope it's going to turn out how I wish it will. And I have a stitch marker right here, which is a little shell and a pearl, and I got that from the Prairie Dye Studio. I love her things. August was actually a skein of yarn from her, so that's why I'm really looking forward to still knitting a pair of socks out of it, but just not when it was supposed to be. So I've started that, and hopefully I'll be able to get this done before the end of the month. I really, really, really hope so. And last but not, oh no, I have 2 more things. The 2 other things are cross stitch related. So I have my piece of pie for August, which was cookies and cream. So here we go. And this is from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It took me a really long time to actually finish it, simply because I didn't have good light for it, neither in the morning or neither at night, and on my day off, I had just so many things to do that I couldn't really sit and cross stitch or knit. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm not further along in anything right now. Life kind of got in the way, but here we go. Hopefully you can see it all. Yeah. Here we go. So we just got yesterday the pie for September, which is an apple pie, and it's gonna go right here. So right beside the cookies and cream that we've just done. So I'm gonna get that set up, and hopefully I'll have a little bit more time to dedicate to this. And the last thing that I have is a finish object. Like I say, September was my birthday month. And my sister sent me a package for my birthday, which this mug was in, by the way. Amazing sheep mug. Anyone? I love it. And then there's a little sheep butt in the back. It's beautiful. I love it. And in the package there was multiple things, but one of the things that was in the package was this thing, which I actually had to stitch. It wasn't stitched at the beginning. It is a kit from Miniature Rhino. And she does all of those horoscope little hoops. So my sister got the one that's for me, which is Virgo. And you basically stitch like you want. So you have all of this printed on the blue fabric, and you basically just go and do what you feel like. So what I've done is that I've done little lines over here, and then I've done actually little stars with the big ones at the extremity. So those ones, those 4 ones, are actually 4 strands, so 8 ends, and the ones inside the constellation I've made actually with 3 strand, sorry, so 6 ends. And I've decided to not stitch anything around it because I didn't want it to be too much things on there, and I thought that this was just a nice kind of in between. So this looks really beautiful, and I will put it where I have 2 shelves with yarns in my guest bedroom, and I will just hang it where that is, and it's gonna stay there. It's gonna be beautiful. So this is literally all I have for you guys today. Like I say, I really didn't have time to do much. I was extremely busy, and when I was coming back from work, I was so tired that I couldn't rub my head into doing anything at that point. So sorry that I don't have much more to show you guys, but hopefully, like I say, the mojo's gonna come back, and next episode should be a little bit better, but I don't know when that will be. So stay tuned. If you don't want to miss the next episode, please subscribe, and you will get a notification of when the next episode will be. Hopefully in 3 weeks. I really hope. If not, just stay tuned. So thank you everyone for your support, and I hope that even if this was a really short episode, that you still kind of liked seeing those little things. So thank you everyone. Have a great day. Have a great end of summer, beginning of fall, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.